that money to anywhere in the world actually, but it depends on the kind of transaction. All right, so we advise that point, but in terms of policy, how you do business with me as a Nigerian and you want me to expect my money in dollars or pounds, you're guided by that money. But it is possible to get settled in any currency in the world, depending on the type of transaction you are doing.
So based on what you said, if the default is from USD to Naira,
yeah,
what conversion rate
is the government rate? Not black market rate. And again, some of those businesses, even when we settle you in Naira, we can help you as well facilitate converting from Naira back to the currency. Not as Flutterwave, but through our bank partners who was
Okay. Anybody with questions? You know, so this is the time to know how to use our solution to build different things, right? So I'll give you a merchant story. Let me give you a merchant story. I love telling stories about developers who are using their skills to earn money, right? So there's a guy who built a certain framework, right? And he wanted to teach people how to use this framework, right? So he needed to collect payments. But he needed to collect payments from not just people in Nigeria, but he also needed to collect payments from people who were trying to learn how to use this framework from other parts of the world, right? And he came to use the Rave by Flutterwave payment gateway. So what he simply did was, I mean, he had built his site, right, to collect payments across, to upload videos and people can watch the videos and, you know, create an account, right? But he had different membership options, right? It's either you pay maybe $20 a month, or you pay $64 per quarter, or you pay $99 all-time membership fee. You guys always see all those sort of membership when you're paying for different things, right? And he wanted to collect payments from people in Germany, people in different places, right? Integrating the Rave by Flutterwave payment gateway, all he did was he just put a simple script on his site. When I click $29, right, what that thing is doing is it's passing the amount, right, that he wants to charge, right? And the script I showed you guys earlier, let me just show it here again. Right, so he's passing the amount. He's passing the amount here, right, and the customer details, right, and he's passing the currency. So if it's charging in USD, he's just passing his currency as USD, right? And today he's, you know, selling his skill, right? And he has people from Germany, people from different places, right, trying to, you know, kind of see the work he's doing, right? Which is a great story because it's like the Renaissance for Africa, right? I always feel Africa is a place that would sell its skills, right? Because we're a very talented set of people, right? And this is what payments allows you to do, right? Anything you think you can make money from, right? You can use Rave, right, to make that, to grow your revenue or make that money. So do you have any use case, anything, okay, do you have any projects that you think is coming up and you're thinking, okay, you know what, I need to make money from this thing, right? Let's talk about the project and, you know, I'll give you ways that, all right? Okay. All right.
We are actually about to begin the project. We are a team of about 5 or 6 guys, developers. The kind of got of the idea is just told me not too long ago about payment basically, but on GG, because people have problems with trust and other factors, but we are yet to begin any dirty work. So as I was thinking of what you just said about I don't know how it will be in the end, because we're just starting. I'm not really thinking it to really grow big as such that you have to need the facility to pay international or something like that. But that's just in a shot.
Okay. Awesome. So the great thing about the gateway is if you're collecting, if you're starting a business and you're collecting maybe 200,000 naira a month, right? And you grow to 1 million a month and you grow to, as you keep growing, right? We factor in your needs for growth, right? So I think you guys saw the video for Wakana, right? I mean, Wakana was probably doing maybe collections, maybe it was selling tickets in Nigeria. Then Wakana was like, you know what, we want to expand into Ghana, right? Instead of Wakana to go to Ghana, start going over negotiations again, okay, who is the payment gateway in Ghana? What's their pricing? Who are we meant to talk to? What are their APIs? How do we integrate their APIs? Well, for Wakana to have switched on Ghana, all they needed to do was just pass the currency, GHS, in their API, right? That's how simple we make it, right? So if you're starting today and maybe you're just trying to build an escrow service or anything, right? It's okay to start small, right? We understand that, and our APIs also factor that in, right? And as you scale, right, we help you scale in a very simple manner, right? As a developer, when they give you that task, and you're like, all these new APIs again. But if they tell you, in fact, you can even, you don't need to tell, the business people don't know what how APIs work, and you just tell them, oh, is it Ghana you guys want to switch on? Yeah, so all you just need to do is change the currency, right? And you switched on Ghana. So yes, so that's how our APIs work. So what I'm going to do after this session is I'm going to share the CLI with you, right? I want everybody to get their hands dirty, just try, download a few sample apps. Typically, I love using CLIs. Who has worked with Zapier before? Do you know Zapier? You've worked with Zapier before, right? So they have a lot of sample apps, right? That you could just, there's a Zapier CLI. Once you just download it, you just download the sample app and see how Zapier works, right? So I love using CLIs personally. And we'll share that along with our documentation. Anything you want to build, right? We have a developer package. The business team will tell you guys about the developer package. Hope to see you guys. I'll also share a link to our Slack community for you guys to join as well too. All right, thank you guys. Yeah.
We are going to, for the first section, we are having RaveWithforLoop. I am going to invite the product manager for Rave. His name is Femi. Taking to share, okay, we have all your email addresses. So what we're going to do after the section, we're going to drop you an email with people you can reach out to. The reason why I need Femi to speak with us, so as you do this integration, you might just have an idea that will make the product better. Alright? So who do you share that with? It's Femi. So let's plan together with Femi. So just 5 minutes, I will be more less than that, yeah?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Femi. I'm the product manager for Rave. I'm going to tell you a little bit about where we've come, where we are coming from, and then what we've been able to achieve, and even why we actually exist, why we created this product, Rave. So as Timmy said, you can have a business in Nigeria and serve people all over the world. So today, if you start your business here, right, riding on Flutterwave, immediately you can start selling that same product to people in Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Zambia, Tanzania, South Africa, everywhere across Africa. So what we are trying to do here is to connect Africa to the global economy. And we've been doing it one step at a time, and then just because of you, we are getting closer to that goal every day. So last year, about 9 million customers paid merchants on the Rave platform. That's a very huge number, right? That is exactly very close to the population of Switzerland. So now imagine everybody in a country paying people on a platform, right? On Rave. So that means we've been able to empower businesses and connect people to places they couldn't reach previously. So one of our merchants includes Uber. So today, if you take an Uber ride, it is processed by Rave by Flutterwave. Wallet.ng, Arik, Paga, Amplified Pay, NairaBox. So it shows how the infrastructure is able to support big businesses. So that means if you start on Rave today, you are able to scale as far as you want, as big as you want. So I'm also here to give you a good news. So we want more businesses on Rave, and then the only way we can do that is by getting closer to the developer experience. So we want to make you a star to your employers. We want to make sure whatever you're working on, it's successful. So I'm using this opportunity to announce one of our initiatives, Rave for Startups. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be helping new businesses, startup. We are going to be helping you grow. We are going to be offering you advice how to market your product. We've already started that with our Raved Up event. So the first Raved Up event happened last month. So what you are going to be gaining from this will be 5,000 US dollars, AWS credits. So that is enough to start a business on, to start a tech product on, and for you to scale for a couple of years. So we are going to discount our Rave processing fee for anyone who has been approved for this program. We are going to provide technical support, marketing support, and then, so you must have integrated Rave for you to be eligible for this. So we are also giving special attention to startups in the following industry. So if you're building a startup in the transportation industry, right, we really love you. If you're building a startup in the travel industry, right, you're doing something great. If you're building a startup in the fintech industry or the gaming industry, we are looking for you. So this is the good news I have to share. I would like to see more developers engage in integrating Rave for more businesses. We'd like to see you spin up more businesses and also support more businesses. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, guys. Wait, let's start from the top. How many people have butter? Okay, can you guys do me a favor? Can you pull out your phones? I beg. Just please, please. Download it right now. It doesn't get butter. Just check get butter on your Play Store, your Apple Store. It doesn't take 2 seconds. Just download it, try it out. Let us know what you think about it. Use it. I'm not going to preach. I'm not a pastor like Ernest, but I assure you that you've not tried anything as good as get butter. But thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate every single one of you, despite the threat of traffic from our president. Thank you guys for making time to come and spend time with us at Flutterwave. Hopefully we can do this as often as possible. We're happy to welcome you because I believe that everybody here will be, the next time we ask that question, you would have been somebody who has integrated Rave, and you'll be somebody who is an ambassador for Flutterwave. So thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate you. The last thing that I will say is next weekend is the elections, Abi. I think that we are the young people in this country. It's important that we make change in this country. I'm not endorsing any candidate, but let your vote speak for you. Thank you guys and enjoy lunch. Thank you.
The final thing is group photograph. So where do we do that? Outside?
Outside.
Okay, so can we
By that thing at the back.
has really been amazing. I've been able to work on amazing projects, and it's, in all, it's been amazing.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think so. Right. Or should I say good evening? How are we? Right. Thank you for turning up for this brief engagement. Right. Have I met you before? You came, oh, you were here for the first bar, just while we're closing up. Right, my name is Ernest, and I am one of the team from Flutterwave. My core responsibility actually is to bring in business to the company. And what we are doing today is part of our strategy for 2019. All right, to see how we can reach out to businesses in Nigeria and across Africa through developers like you. We realize that there's no way we can get it done with just the pool of engineers we have in-house, but we could provide services through you guys to the merchants, the businesses, the target market we look at to. All right, and that is why we're here, and more importantly, to see how the skills that you have could be commercialized. All right, we want to see how we can help through partnership to take off from the level you've been operating to the next level. And with that, I mean being able to spend your time doing what will add value to you financially. Did you get that? It's just as simple as that. It's a partnership we are beginning today, all right, that we basically benefit us as a company and also benefit you as a developer. I have two of my colleagues that will be coming here to present to you guys how this works. So I'm going to spend much of your time talking about that. But before we go right into the event, our CEO and co-founder, GB, Benga Bola, had to leave the country yesterday for an urgent issue in part of our continent. So, but he's got something to say to us. So we are going to be hooking up. You ready? All right. While he's getting ready, we're going to be listening to him, what he's got to say to us through this channel, okay? Yeah. So basically the objective, okay, you ready? All right, so let's listen to our CEO.
I'm the CEO and co-founder of forLoop. Welcome to RaveWithforLoop 2019. My job here today is to let you know our plans for software engineers across Africa. I started my career in PayPal, writing Java for PayPal when we were expanding across Europe. So, software is the only thing that we need the one right now to make Africa to expand the global economy. Right. Welcome once again. For our Rave product, this is what you may use to receive money from anywhere in the world. Rave has been built to ensure that the merchant in Lagos can see money from a customer in China, in London, in Nairobi, in Accra. It doesn't matter what you have to pay. Rave makes it easy. And all these things can be done via simple APIs. So today, let's get hacking, let's get it done. Thank you guys.
Right.
Hi guys.
So I promise the plan is to leave here at 5 o'clock or finish the program by 5. We'll try as much as possible to keep to that time so you can continue with your weekend. So Wale, let's keep running. Yeah?
Hi guys. My name is Wale.
Okay, so basically, thank you guys for coming once again. We'll just dive right into it. Today, we would like to show you something that we've been working on for the last 3 months. No, for a few months. Yeah, it's basically a new feature that allows you basically earn from the things that you do today, right? So if I'll ask, how many of us have integrated Rave or has integrated Rave to any website at any point? Who has integrated a payment gateway before? At least a payment gateway. Yeah, Paystack. Interesting. Okay, so, but you've integrated, if you understand what a payment gateway is, right? Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So today we're basically going to show you how you can earn from integrating Rave as a payment gateway to the website that you get, the jobs that you get to do. So typically it's going to be done in 3 simple steps. You sign up, you get your referral code, you onboard new merchants, and basically you earn. So I'll basically just show you how this works. So basically if you're signed up to Rave, right, you basically just, yeah, this is it. So you can sign up to Rave as an individual or as a corporate, right? So as an individual, once you're signed up to Rave, you can accept payments as an individual. So on your account, we have something called a referral code. I'll basically just show you, such that once you onboard another merchant with that referral code, you are able to earn from transactions that merchant does. Now, this does not increase the fees that the merchant pays in any way, right? It basically just gives you a portion of what we earn from that merchant. I don't know if I'm making sense. So basically, if you sign up a merchant today, which is something that you would do ordinarily anyway, why shouldn't you earn for referring that merchant to the payment gateway? Because in reality, the payment gateway got that business because you did that referral, right? When you integrated what for the last website that you did, right? So this session is basically to show you how we have thought deeply about rewarding you for the referrals that you do. Now, this move came from a very deep research that we did internally, and we found out that we were growing so fast, and that growth was basically caused by the referrals that developers like yourselves do without our direct knowledge, right? So we thought better to incentivize you, right? Appreciate you, such that, of course, you do more referrals to us. So I'll basically just sign into my Rave account now, so you can see how this works in reality. How many of us have a Rave account? Okay, so it's easy. You can quickly sign up to Rave. If you just whip out your laptop or your phones, I'll wait. No pressure, no rush. We're in this together. There's lunch after this session so that we can just chill and enjoy ourselves. So basically, just whip out your laptop. Navigate to rave.flutterwave.com. You can do this on your mobile phones as well. So basically, rave.flutterwave.com. You click on sign up or get started, and just sign up as an individual. So I'll just log on to my Rave account while you do that. We're good? How many of us are signed in? I'm signed into Rave yet. Can I see your hands up? Okay, so we'll just wait a bit more. while we wait, how many of us know that, of course, you know the relationship between Flutterwave and Rave, right? We know the relationship between Flutterwave and Rave. So Flutterwave is the parent company, Rave is the product. Yeah, so let's not get it twisted. Now, the reason. So all of us need to be here so we can quickly move. You need to sign up and be logged on so that I can just show you the next steps. The process is very, very, very simple. And as devs, I'm sure they're used to things like this. So we are signed in. Just 3 of us. Can we just wait? Are we trying to sign in? Yes. Okay, so let's. I think people are just setting up their accounts. They're setting up new accounts. Yeah. So typically, just a bit about Rave. Rave is a payment gateway that allows you accept monies from almost anywhere in the world, right? And by anywhere in the world, I mean anywhere in the world. So Rave has deliberately put together multiple payment instruments to allow you serve your customers and allow your customers or your merchants or you yourselves collect monies deliberately across Africa and by extension across the globe. So what do I mean? I mean that how many of us know or are familiar with the payments landscape across Africa? So I'll give you an instance. If you're very familiar with how payments work in Africa, you know that card payments, as big as it is here in Nigeria, is not as big in other African countries. Mobile money is more prevalent across Africa than cards. Do we know? So typically in Kenya, right, or in Ghana, Ghana is just close by, or in Togo or Benin Republic, people prefer that you pay them with your phone, right? Your phone number is typically your bank account. So there are more mobile money accounts or mobile money wallets across Africa than bank accounts. Do we agree? Right. No, I mean, whether you agree with me or not, but that's the reality. So I really don't care what you think. Right. But I mean, it was interesting for me to find out as well. And I found out on this journey, on my journey in Flutterwave. Now, what Flutterwave has done is to enable most of these mobile money wallets allow customers accept payments from all of these mobile money wallets. So a typical example is we have merchants who are in Nigeria today, have businesses in Kenya, right? And from Rave, they can set up a Kenyan shilling wallet, right? And people in Kenya can pay them. So we have businesses in Nigeria that do not have any registration in Kenya, however, have customers who want to pay them in Kenya and they can accept Kenyan shillings from M-Pesa. We have businesses in Uganda who are based in Uganda, in Kampala, and can accept cards from Nigeria or mobile money from Ghana, right? Basically, what we've done at Flutterwave through and expressed through Rave is to aggregate or consolidate payments across Africa into one single API. So technically, once you integrate Rave, your merchant or your customer who owns the website is live in 6 African countries and can accept monies across the globe. Now, when I mean 6 African countries, local payment instruments in 6 African countries. So the reality is that the mobile money operator in Kenya is Safaricom, right? The mobile money operator in Ghana is maybe Airtel Tigo or MTN, right? Even mobile money platforms don't work across each other. What Flutterwave has done is to consolidate, integrate into this channel so that you as a merchant does not have to integrate, right? You just need to integrate Flutterwave and you have access to this to these platforms. So are we signed up? We're logged on. So let's navigate to referrals. So if you click on referrals, you'll see a referral code here, right? Can we see? Everybody has a unique referral code. This is mine. Please copy my referral code and use it the next time you are onboarding merchants so that I can earn your money. Thank you very much. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, that was a joke. I was just kidding. So your referral code is unique to your account, and you basically just need to copy this code, and when you are signing up a merchant, you put it as part of the onboarding process. So there's a field for referral code in the onboarding process. You may not have seen it if you sign up as an individual, but when you're signing up as a business, which I'll show you right now, you will see where the referral code is required. So I'll just sign up now, and I'll sign up as a registered business. Continue. So if I just say I am, what's your name, sir? Olalekan. Lekan Tech. Does Lekan Tech exist? Business address. Sir, what do you want your address to be? Silicon Valley. Nice. Or Beverly Hills. You like Silicon Valley? On 400 Beaumont Road, SF. Yeah, what do you sell at Lekan Tech, sir? Food. Am I like one, sir? Yeah, so company admin, yeah. So you will see referral code here. Can we see it? So basically just onboard the Lekan Tech. So if I just put in my referral code, I'd onboard Lekan Tech, right? When Lekan Tech does a transaction, I get to earn a portion of Flutterwave's earnings. So this is it. Flutterwave earns a percentage of the merchant's transactions, right? So we are willing to share a portion of our earnings with you because you're referring merchants to us. Now, look at it this way. If Lekan Tech does 100 million a day, and this is not an exaggeration, there are merchants that collect monies to the tune of 100 million a day today. We have them on our platforms, right? So imagine that Lekan Tech does 100 million a day, or just 10 million a day. You will earn, I mean, I can work the math for you, but you will just end that day without doing anything, and I'll work the math. So this is it. So let me give you a simple math. With the last class I shared this. So if for a 100K transaction, right, Flutter will earn 1,400. For referring, you earn 100 naira. Right? So for a 1 million naira transaction, you earn 1,000 naira. Right? So imagine every day you just earn money, and if you have 10 of Lekan Tech, right, you just earn money by just basically referring the merchant to us. And this money just goes on for the life of Lekan Tech's relationship with Flutterwave. Sweet. That's it. So it's basically, you get onboarded, you refer, you earn. That's it. Very simple. And there are guys today who earn money so that there are guys, I mean, we've been testing this on Beta Stage for a few months, up to about 6 months now. And there are guys, to be very frank with you guys, there are guys who have been able to set up other businesses from what they earn from us, and they are still earning. Right? I mean, I was paying somebody his monthly earnings. I can't remember, because he agreed to leave his earnings with us for a month. This for, if you set up on Rave, right, your earnings are instant and you can move them out to your bank account. So once, because I've not referred anybody on Rave, that's why my referral code is still there. Once you refer somebody and you click on referrals, you see your earnings, right? You see your balance. It's a different UI, right? So you see your earnings, you see your referral code, and you can just move out your money and transfer it to your bank account and enjoy yourself, right? And his money was so huge that, I mean, even my ID entered, right? So, and that's how real it is. All you just need to do is keep referring merchants to us, and you keep earning. That's it. That's simple. Now, this is for a local transaction. For an international transaction, right, the 0.1% that you earn is uncapped. Now, the reason why this amount looks small is because in the Nigerian payment space, how much we earn is capped. So, for example, the CBN mandates or restricts us to earn 1.4% capped at 2,000. So if somebody pays 200K, right, 1.4% of 200K is what? 2,800. Flutterwave cannot earn more than 2,000 by regulation. And if you're familiar with payments in Nigeria, you know that payments in Nigeria is very, very regulated. Banks, fintechs, and everybody that handles anybody's money in Nigeria is under very strict scrutiny from the federal government, right? So, however, if you bring us an international merchant, say an international airline, right, you can earn 0.1% uncapped. So, for example, somebody pays $5,000. 10% of that is what? Is $500. 1% is $50. So you can earn, yeah. So you can earn $5 straight, no cap. And imagine how people pay every day. So, I mean, the best way to look at this is to continue to just refer merchants. You never can tell when your merchants will just grow, right? And your earnings will just grow. So you're only just to refer merchants to us and chill every day and watch your dashboard. That's it. That's simple. Questions?
Yeah. My first question is Rave on Shopify?
Yes, we're on Shopify.
Because last time I checked, I didn't see
We
Rave.
Can we get him?
Is Rave on Shopify? I think we were there. We should be there. When last did you check?
That was December.
December.
Yes, I integrated a store in December. And secondly, if you create an online store for a merchant in Nigeria, and we talked about payments in other countries.
Cross-border.
Across the border. Now, if those guys over there sign in or come in to that store, what currency will they see? Is there an auto currency converter when we use it? Because online, currency they will see is,
Naira.
currency. Is there an auto currency converter that they will see about there that will convert it down?
Yeah, so an international transaction is typically charged in dollars, right, by default. So if I'm paying a Nigerian merchant, right, how do I explain it to you now? I don't know how much of currency conversion you understand. The basic or the global currency is dollars, right? So if I'm holding a euro-denominated card, right, the currency conversion will be done from naira to dollars, from dollars to euro. So my local bank account will be charged in euro, but the transaction will be done in dollars. But me as the merchant in Nigeria will get naira.
But the customer there won't see dollar, but they will see naira, right?
No, he'll see naira on your platform. Yes, you'll see naira on your platform.
Or when you put in your card, the system will show you the equivalent in your currency.
And we can accept all card types, Amex, Discover, all the major card brands, MasterCard, Visa. Union Pay, everything. Any more questions?
About the payments link in the dashboard.
Yes.
As individual, can you receive payments, like sending your payments, like you work on Fiverr or Upwork as a freelance? Can you send your like payments link to the people you work with and send the money?
Yes, precisely.
And also, what's the like on the balance limits or like the amount limits you can have in your account as individual, and also as individual or as a developer, can you have both individual accounts and business accounts in the same account?
Yes, you can. So for your first question, yes, you can send a payment link. In fact, so I was somewhere, one of these African countries, and I lost my card, and yeah, I lost my card. I didn't have cash. So basically, I just told somebody, you have mobile money? They said yes. I just sent him a link. He paid on mobile money. Right. I told him to send me a link, give me cash. I paid him. Right. And he gave me cash and I paid him, and yeah, it was fine. I just created it. I told him to sign up on Rave, create a link, right? And yeah, I just exchange. So it's that easy. You can just send your link to anybody and they pay you. So for your second question, which is?
The limits on individual account, like the amounts you can receive.
So typically by default, limit is 500K on every account, both individual and business here, but you can increase it by when we see your pattern. Once you see your pattern, just reach out to customer success to it. They would increase it. So the business is on 100 million a day limit, the business is on 10 million, the business is on 1 million. Depends on how we assess your transaction pattern and how risky we think your business is.
Concerning referrals, is this the only way I can refer? Can I share it on social media platforms so that when people are registering with that referral code to automatically?
I mean, you're a developer now, so the logic is built in. So long as Rave identifies a sign up with your referral code, how that referral code gets into Rave is irrelevant. So we like share on social media. So long as when this person is onboarding, this field comes with your referral code, hits Rave, it automatically allocates your earnings to you. Not necessarily. So, I mean, I don't know, are you a developer? So my point is, once a sign up is done and the referral code that comes with that sign up is yours, whether the person put it by himself or you put it for the person, so long as it hits the back end with that referral code, the earnings come to the owner of the referral code. I don't know if you get my point.
I get what you're saying.
Yes, but
Like, you don't get my point. For example, now if I share my referral code and they click on the link and it takes them to sign up.
no, we're not doing that link.
It doesn't work that way.
We're not doing link that way.
Secondly, do you have a WordPress plugin?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have plugins for all the major what's it called? CMS. Interesting. We have a session for all these CMS, PrestaShop, all of those conversations, right? Yeah, but we have all the major. Yeah.
Is it possible to integrate USSD payment with your Node.js API? I didn't see it in documentation, I've checked.
So you just jumped the gun. The next session is for this type of questions. I'm on the English-speaking side of Flutterwave, right? So the code-speaking part. All the tech, all the hard questions, just ask me the English ones.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I'm quite familiar with Bucket Butter, and the way the platform is, you can convert your currency from Naira, US dollar, shillings and all. So I'm asking, is there a similarity here where you can make that kind of conversion. You just charge, instead of being charged the equivalent, you are being charged in that account.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, Rave is live in a few African countries. And in those countries, Rave collects the currency in that country. So basically, you can sign up Rave for Uganda and create an Ugandan shilling. Is it an or a? Idea is, so is it a Ugandan? Is an vowel? Exactly. It's fine. It's not an English class, right? But you can create a wallet for your Ugandan business, right? You can create a wallet for your Tanzanian business and another for your Kenyan business, right? And once you integrate, you just expose that bit to the guys with Ugandan IPs, and yeah. And is that easy?
My question is concerning split payments. Now,
No, next session. Just wait. Once I leave, the next voice you hear, you can bombard him with API questions.
Sir, is there a number of referring that you refer that will make the refer points like 0.1 pound or change like 1.1%?
Bring your whole village first. When we see your whole clan, then we'll consider. But yeah, for now, it's basically 0.1. Any questions?
Not really a question. Mine is just like a suggestion because I've integrated quite a number of stores, and we have a challenge with PayPal. Nigerian companies, for example, like Paystack, Cash and the rest, we cannot integrate them with dollar default accounts.
What does that mean? Say that again.
Okay, let me explain. That means the default currency can't be in dollar except you Stripe or PayPal. So that means we can't target those in US, Canada, and all that. So even if they come in, they can't pay because they see there and they're not comfortable with that currency. So going forward, I think your platform would actually do us a good if we could have the option to integrate dollar currency as the default currency because it gives us more opportunities to target outside countries besides Africa.
We can do that now. We can do it. We can do it. Have you tried Rave?
No, I've not seen Wave.
On Shopify?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just try Rave. Try Rave. Yeah, we can do it. Because Flutterwave is registered in the US. Right, so we can do it. Do you understand? Like we can acquire locally in the US because we're a registered business in the US. Same way we're a registered business in about 6 African countries.
is there a possible way Wave can partner with
Rave
can partner with Fiverr not to get funds directly? Because integration of PayPal is not that kind of easy for Nigeria.
Just send your payment link to the person paying you.
Okay.
You're on Fiverr, right?
Yeah.
Send your now you're signed up on Rave, Abi. Go to payment link, change the currency to dollars or whatever. Send the payment link to the person. Done. You get paid. Yeah. Easy. Just cut me something when the person pays for consultancy.
Are the earnings for life provided they keep using it, or is it?
Provided they keep using it.
There was something I was thinking about on this payment platform. Is it possible that when you're getting paid, okay, the money is coming to your dashboard here, and then you convert it, you pay it into your account?
Bank account, yeah.
Okay. Are there other countries like receiving payment from Dubai and
Yeah.
other African countries?
Everywhere. Everywhere. So long as, so local payment instruments in about 6 or 7 African countries, card payments from anywhere in the world. So you need to, not necessarily, right? If you're enabled for international payments on your dashboard, you can either turn off or turn on international payments. So once you turn on international payments, you can accept.
So you can still leave it in there?
Yes, you can still leave it in there. We're good? No, now, sir. Why you the one that brought us here?
Is there any charges for using payments from outside, like outside the country, like using a payment link?
Should I answer you with a question? Should I answer you or should I ask you a question?
Answer first and then you can answer.
No, I'll ask you a question first. Should I get paid?
Should you get paid?
Now you asked if there's a fee for collecting money. Yeah, should I get paid for working for Flutterwave? Do you think I should get paid? Say, how would they pay me? That's just a joke. So there's a fee for cross-border. We charge 3.5% for cross-border.
Okay, not like that's
1.4, yes. It's different. Cross-border collections. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. I want to put your hands
Thank
together
you.
for ourselves here. I think the point I need to clarify, one video came, I think was less than 3 Yep, we charge for Nigerian transaction 1.4% of transaction. Trust me, when you pay your tithe in the church, your pastor will like to meet you. Alright? Because there are churches on your name and paying the tithes, your pastor probably will know your name. Alright? But trust me, you just need to, don't look at 0.1%, look at the rates 0.1, and tackle the good businesses and bring them in, and let them bring on with a smile. Again, you don't need to wait to end of month because every day as transactions happen. So it has to be, another thing you need to do is not just to integrate them, but you need to make sure those platforms are being used. Because when transactions happen, it doesn't matter if you bring or celebrate airline tomorrow to share with us. If you integrate and you don't have a way of pushing for users to happen, you don't earn money. So you earn money when what happens, when transaction, when cash are used or like that. So let's welcome to the our head of integration team. Please probably the one you will be speaking with more often. Wally and I are business people. All we just need is a business to come in. But when they come in, when you are integrating, you have issues, if there's any, but he's the one you call and his team to sort it out. So I'm sure in another 20 minutes we'll be done with the sections. Just all the technical questions you try to ask Wally, this is the person that will answer. Let's welcome him, please.
Oh wow, this is loud. Okay, yes, hi guys. Sorry, my name is Timmy Additional. How's everyone doing? So yeah, I'm going to talk to you about Rave APIs. Interesting. How many people here have worked with Flutterwave's APIs before? Nobody? Okay, have you worked with payment APIs before? Have you tried to integrate payments to your website, anything? Okay, well, okay, awesome. All right. So we're going to do a small exercise, right? Do you have any solution today you're trying to integrate payments into? Like as of today, maybe something you're doing at work, or maybe it's a personal project, right? And you know you need payments. Okay. All right.
I've been trying to find a way of integrating USSD payments with your Node.js API, and I've not really figured that out. I've checked your documentation, but it's not there.
Oh, all right. Oh, sorry. So for USSD, right, that's not available at the moment, so that's why it's not there. But what we have is we have other payment options. So today in Nigeria, you can use card, bank account, QR code, and the one that is very dear to my heart, barter, right? So you know how there's like PayPal, right? Pay with PayPal, right? There's also something called Pay with Barter, right? So Barter is like a consumer technology app where I can generate virtual cards, add my card, make payments, put money in my wallet, right? Your customers can easily pay you with Barter. If you have the Barter app and you have your merchant on Rave and you try and test a payment on Barter, it is literally a one-click payment. All I need to do to pay with Barter is enter my mobile number and PIN. Right? Once I enter my mobile number and my Barter PIN, my wallet is debited. So there are other payment options available as well. Okay.
If I'm building an e-commerce site, can I integrate that into the site? Because actually what started this was that I'm trying to find a way to make shoppers pay on the e-commerce site without having to use their credit card. Because Nigeria generally, we are skeptical about taking credit card into online sites, so I'm trying to find a solution for that. So is there a way to, like, if it's partner, so is there a way to integrate that to people just there?
Okay, so I understand what you're trying to say, right? There is, right? So with the Rave Payment Gateway, we have a simple JavaScript pop-up, right, that brings up a form, right? Let me show you what that form looks like. Just give me a minute. So I'm logging into my dashboard on the Rave Payment Gateway. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is my payment link. Typically, payment links are like links you can generate to collect payments, right? So maybe you finish doing that job for that person and he's meant to pay you a balance of 50K, right? You can have a Rave account and just send him your payment link, put in the amount you want the person to pay, right? And they pay you the 50K. But I want to show you what the payment model looks like, right? Awesome. So can you guys see the payment model, right? So over here you have 4 payment options, right? So you can integrate this same thing to your site, right? And when your users have put all the products into the cart and they want to pay and check out, at checkout you can just tell them pay with Rave to checkout, right? When they click the pay with Rave to checkout, what you do is you use our inline JavaScript method, right, to bring up this payment model, right? Let me show you what the inline JavaScript method looks like. So this is what it looks like. So it's just a simple script function that you can attach in your script tag on your site, right? When you add that, you just pass in your key, your public key, which you can get from the dashboard, right? Pass in the amount, the customer email and details, and a unique transaction reference. So now your customers will be able to enter either their credit card, pay with a bank account, right? Pay with a QR code that scan the payment to make the payments, or pay with barter. Let me show you what. Sorry, okay. So I'm gonna try and pay with barter now. No, I don't have up to 1K in my barter. I'll just do it. So let me show you how pay with barter looks like. Right. So I put in my mobile number, right, and I click on pay. I'm asked to put in my 4-digit barter PIN. And I'm done. I just paid myself successfully. Right. I'll send you guys my link. You can, I should have used your link. Okay, so I set up a Rave account and send me your link. You have it already? To what? Git tutor. Okay, don't worry. After the class. After the event. Yeah, but those are the options that will be available for your customers, right? And the great thing is, as you build your e-commerce store, what we notice is a lot of people start to get customers from different places, right, around Africa, and they want to spread, right? To spread, who knows, like when people could not use Apple Music and iTunes, right? When the whole dollar craze started, right? So that was when big companies knew that you have to localize payments, right? If I'm in Nigeria, I can't just be saying, okay, I'll just collect USD everywhere else, right? If I'm in Nigeria, I have to collect Naira. If I'm in Ghana, I have to collect cedis. If I'm in Kenya, I have to collect shillings, right? That's something that Rave allows you to do, right? So as you grow your business, right, and you start to get users from different parts of the country, right, all you need to do is this inline JS I showed you, notice there's a currency parameter there, NGN. All you need to do is change the currency. So if you want to collect in Ghanaian cedis, just change the currency here to the currency code for Ghanaian cedis, right? And you can already immediately accept payments from your customers using card or mobile money. Right. Sorry? Yeah. So a multiple currency flow is a flow that you show on your site, right? So imagine your user comes to your site, right, and he wants to pay for his goods. Would you show him his goods in Naira if it's from Ghana, right? You might already have built your flow to show him the goods in Ghanaian cedis, right? So as far as he checks out using Ghanaian cedis, all you just need to do is pass that exact currency for the products he's paying for. Sorry, yes.
You haven't talked about making payments. You're talking about collecting payments.
Okay.
When I have a product, I want to make payment out. I have the batch payment.
Okay.
And I want to split payment also.
Okay. Awesome. So typically we see split payments when you're trying to collect payments, right? But batch payment, batch disbursal, bulk rather, not batch, bulk payments when you're trying to pay to multiple people, right? So with the Rave gateway, right, you can do that using your dashboard or using APIs, right? Using APIs is so simple. Let me just show you that quickly. So this is our APIs for transfers, right? We call making payments transfers, right? Typically, every Nigerian will say, transfer money to me, right? So for instance, maybe you have a payroll solution, right? And you want to you're building for that payroll solution, right? So we allow you, right, either pay to one person or pay to multiple people. Right, let me just show you what the API looks like. Great. So like these are all the payload parameters, right? With Rave, you can pay out to African bank accounts, that's Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, right? You can also pay out to the US, right? And you can pay to mobile money accounts, right? So in Ghana, in Kenya, those people, they don't use like cards. They don't use bank accounts like we do, right? They use mobile money, right? So they have a SIM toolkit that allows them, it's like a stored value account, right? So it allows them to keep money there, right? And also send money between one another. So with this API that requests for account bank, that's the bank code. So each bank has a unique code, right? This 044, for instance. So if I want to transfer to GTB, right? There's an API that lists all the bank codes, right? If I want to transfer to GTB, I could just use a 587, right? That's the GTB code, right? So the API requests for the bank code, the account number you want to transfer to, the amount. This is your unique key. That key is to authenticate the API call, right? That's your secret key. And you can find it on your dashboard. Settings, you'd see it under settings. Under settings, there's a tab called API, and you'll find your secret key there. So also a request for narration. So what do you want the customer to see when they receive the payment? That's what the narration is, right? And it requests the currency you're trying to transfer in, your unique reference, so you can identify the payments on your own end. Maybe you're storing the payments, the request in your database, right? How do you track it? And the beneficiary name, who is meant to receive the money. This is the same format to transfer across 5 different countries, right? So it's one API, one method, the same format to make your request, the same format to get your response. So did you see the one for bulk? Okay, so let me show you. For bulk is just an array. The same payload, but just put it in an array. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, does anyone have any, so are you trying to build something, you want to know how to, add payments to it? Or a project you've been working on? Nobody? Not yet? Okay. Okay, so what are you trying to build? Let's know. Alright, awesome. Alright, awesome. So with Rave, right, you can, let me tell you a few things you can do with Rave, right, so that maybe it can spark your curiosity, right. Do you know today, one of the largest money makers today is airtime. Everybody buys airtime, like people buy airtime like crazy, right? I'm sure Nigerians spend more trillions of naira, right, buying airtime a year, right? And it's so crazy that recently I just noticed, I use 9 Mobile. Anytime I buy, what's it called, airtime, maybe I've used like maybe 150 naira. The next day when I'm calling, it says, your call credit has almost finished, or your call credits will soon expire. And I'm like, what did I do with my airtime? How many people did I call, right? So apparently your network will like just subscribe you for different things that you don't know about, right? And they'll take your money from it. So that's what they're using to make you buy airtime. But people are making money from reselling airtime to people, right? So it's an easy money maker, right? A lot of people buy airtime nowadays. So one of the things, or some of the things Rave can do, Rave doesn't only allow you collect payments, right? Rave also allows you make payments, right? That's pay to, transfer money to people, right? Rave also allows you resell bill services. So with Rave, you can build your own quick teller. Yes. So with Rave, you can collect collect the money that, so if I want to buy airtime now, you need to charge my source where my money is. All right. With Rave, you can charge it, and with Rave, you can send the airtime value to me. Right. So you can do this for airtime, for electricity, and also for DSTV data and bill payments. Right. Today with Rave, you know how people build subscription services, where they say, oh, you pay me, you pay me $99 a year, or you pay me 3,500 naira a month, right? But when you're building a subscription service, who uses anything, who subscribes for anything here? Netflix, you subscribe for Netflix. You know how they just give you a reminder, we're going to debit you at X date, and they debit you, right? So with Rave, you can do that, right? In the payments world, they call it payment tokenization, right? Tokenization just means when you collect the first payment from the customer, right? So for instance, you've told the customer to pay using their card, right? So when they pay using their card, we return something, sort of a token, right? Everybody knows what a token is now. You've worked with JWTs before, right? So they return sort of a token, and that token is a representation of the payment source the customer has used, meaning the card they've used before, right? So you can use that token to charge the customer when you want to charge the customer. So that's how people build recurring. That's how Netflix charges you, right? So with Rave, you can build your own Netflix, right, and collect your payments. I'm not saying that you build your Netflix using the Netflix APIs, but you know what I'm saying, right? You know how to collect payments, right? Great. So also very soon, let me just show you. So who has ever thought of building a marketplace before? So like you want to maybe help other merchants sell their products, right? So you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to build a service where Merchants will be able to add their products to my site, and people will be able to buy those merchants' products, right? So for instance, these are 3 merchants. They've added the products to my service, right? And he's a user, he's a customer. He wants to buy from these 3 merchants and pay 5,000 naira. That's the total amount, right? How do you get each merchant's share? How do you get it to the merchant? So you see, Rave can help you do that, right? And that's what we call split payment, like he mentioned earlier, right? So Rave can allow you charge this customer 5,000 naira, right? And if this guy's money is 300, this guy's money is 200, this guy's money is 400, and we would help you send the money to that customer automatically. So let me just show you how. So all you just need to do is on your Rave dashboard, right, set up this merchant with his bank account, right, set up this merchant with his bank account, set up this merchant with his bank account. When you set all the 3 merchants up, for each merchant, we would return a unique ID that represents the merchant. And in your JavaScript payment pop-up, sorry about that. And your JavaScript payment pop-up, we just expect that you pass that ID as an array, right? So with Rave, you can split between 1 merchant or split between multiple merchants, right? And once you pass the IDs as an array, right, we'll give them the money that you want us to give them. To their account. So those are some of the things you can do with Rave. Right? If you're building a solution and you need to validate user data, right? The very common unique identifier for users in Nigeria is BVN, right? And you need to validate the BVN. You can also use our APIs to validate the BVN. So we're a one-stop solution for payments, right? But we don't just enable payments, we enable businesses grow. Right? Meaning that we make sure that we build all the tools that businesses need, right, to grow in terms of payments. So there's something that we're doing currently, and I just want you guys to think about it. Whatever service you're building, right, think about how to collect money from the customer without having to ask the customer to pay you. Do you get? Okay, I gave an example earlier. You guys know Sony PlayStation, right? How was Sony PlayStation making money before? You buy their games, you buy the CDs, right? But what's the problem with that model? Well, apart from piracy, if you buy a CD, I can as well just borrow you the CD. Why does everyone here need to buy the CD, right? Then piracy, right? There was this time that, when I was a small kid, I was on holiday with my mom, right? And it was in Dubai, right? And so I went into a shop. I brought in my PlayStation for the holiday. And I went into a shop and I wanted to buy games. I was meant to go and buy food, but I wanted to use the money to buy games. So I told the guy, I was like, I want to buy games. And the guy was like, do I want wholesale? I was like, no, I'm not trying to resell games. I just want to buy 1, 2, 3 games. And so the guy brought all the CDs, spread everything for me. And he gave me, I picked the CDs I wanted, right? Big mistake, because I don't know him and I don't know his shop. And there are so many other shops that look like a shop, right? So I took the CDs back to the hotel I put them in. You know how PlayStation 2 is. Who you see PlayStation 2 here? The loading. So if you want to know if CD works, you have to wait for it to load. If it should hang when it's loading, you know it's not working, right? And that was, I spent almost 200 dirhams on CDs that I was meant to use to buy food, and none of them were working, right? But yeah, that's just, but yeah, so what did PlayStation do? PlayStation changed their model, right? And said, look, we can't survive on selling CDs. So if you are playing a PlayStation now, they'll tell you to subscribe to the PlayStation Store, right? And so on the game itself, you enter in your card number, you enter in everything, right? They can use APIs like this to power them, to power their business. If PlayStation is thinking about changing their models using payment APIs, right, it means that any small business today, right, doesn't need to start from where PlayStation started, right? You can just like leapfrog. Do you understand? Right. So these are the things that payments allow you to do, right? And we wanted to show people how this is possible, right? So I and the guys that I work with, right, we started working on CLI apps, right? So we built two, one on an NPM package and a composer package, right? There's a simple CLI. Once you install it, you can generate sample apps that show you how to do different things with our APIs, right? So after this session, we're going to share those. We're going to share the CLIs with you, and we'd love to get your feedback on it, right? What excites me the most is what can people build with our solutions, right? I'll give you an example of how you know, a developer is using our solution, right, to create income for himself. So we have this developer who built his own framework, right, on JavaScript, right, and he built tutorial courses, and he wanted to get paid for the tutorial courses, but not only just get paid, but get paid by anyone, anywhere in the world, right? So he's like, if he wants to get paid by anyone, anywhere in the world, a common currency is probably US dollars, right? Everybody would, know, okay, this is US dollars. They'll convert it to whatever their local currency is. And he's like, okay, how do I charge every card in the world, right? And he integrates like this simple inline JS script you see here, right, that I showed you, right? And today, people from Germany, people from name the parts of the world, Russia, go to watch his course. And this guy is sitting here in Nigeria, right? And they can subscribe for his service, right? So these are some of the things that, our APIs allow you to do, right? Let me see. Sorry? Oh, okay. Just one last thing, right, is we also try to build for third-party platforms, right? So we try to build, if you're maybe an iOS engineer, you're an Android engineer, right? It can be quite tedious, right, implementing APIs inside your project, right? So what we just do is we built a drop-in UI SDK, right? All you just need to do is call a function, right, and pass the parameters you want for that function, right? So for instance, for our iOS, right, once you've done your installation, right, this is all you need. This is all the piece of code you need to collect payments in your iOS app. Just a snippet here, right? And it's the same format for Android as well, right? And with that, you can collect payments across the same way you see all those payments on the web, right? All those payment methods are also available to you on mobile, right? If you're building with WooCommerce, maybe you're building a front-end app, right? So for instance, let me So over here we have different plugins, right, for e-commerce. We also have plugins for, we have React Native, Cordova for hybrid apps, right, and we have community plugins, right. Some are built, we have for React, Vue.js, built by some, like, there's this guy here sitting at the back. Yeah, so if you have any issues on your this thing, just type on the repo, right? We have for Laravel, AngularJS, and different front-end frameworks, right? So we try to make it as simple as possible for you to collect payments. And yes, that's our goal at Flutterwave. All right, thank you guys. Okay. Yeah. For OS class.
Yeah.
No.
Like
What's that? Oh, like PrestaShop. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so you could I would love to see you add that to. So we have community plugins, and we enjoy when. Sorry. Okay. So we have community plugins, and something we enjoy the most is when people build with our APIs, right? When you build a community plugin, if you notice, for all our community plugins, we put the names of the people who build the plugins, right? So the reference, you don't build a plugin and we say, oh, it's Flutterwave's plugin, right? We tell you it was built by this person, right? So I would definitely love to see you build something around that. All right, awesome. Yeah. So we'll share after this, we have your emails. So I would share the CLI apps. I'll share the link to our community, our Slack community. We'd love to see you guys on our Slack community. We're over 2,000 on the Slack community and growing. And yes, so those are the details we'll share to you. And also, okay. Okay, all right.
The question is, how does card payments work on Rave? Like when a payment was made, I was integrated into the card details. So will the card details be saved on the Rave database? Like maybe for recurring payments. And what about the first time you're making payments, the OTP will be sent out. So when you are making like another payment, will OTP be sent out, or payment will just go direct? Because something like that happened. Someone make a first payment and the other one, the OTP was not sent. They used to do like scam the person like almost 1K. 170K. So is it something like that also on Brave? Because this is another platform.
Right, awesome. So on Rave, right? So for instance, the model I showed you earlier, right? Once you add your card details, right? Tokenization is by default, right? So when your bank gives you your card, on the card you see MasterCard, Visa, right? We call those people card networks, right? Those people handle the technology that involves using your card, right? So they partner with the banks, right? As part of that technology that they handle, right, they're able to, because they have the license to, right, give a token, right? And we're able to securely store that token because we have the license to, right? Now, this is something that happens. We give users the choice. So when you make your first payment, we have a small box that says, remember me, right? That remember me means, if I'm coming back for my next payment, I don't want to have to fill in my card details again, right? Just show me the card detail I've used before, right? But when you use that remember me feature, we always ask you for OTP.
Is the remember me, is it always tick, or you have to choose it?
No, you have to choose it yourself. Yes. So you have to opt in yourself. So we give users a choice. Yes. All right. Okay.
My question is based on the split payment. Initially, you showed us about the bulk transfer where you have to specify the account number, account details. Now, but for the split payment, you just mentioned you have to create sub-accounts.
Yes.
So is it possible to just list the account numbers instead of creating a sub-account?
Okay, so that's interesting, right? It's definitely not, it's a valid, what's it called, method or suggestion. But for account record purposes, right, we expect that we have a record of that profile that you're splitting payments to, right? And also the fact that we need to be able to bring up that profile at settlement time. Settlement is when we're actually giving the money to the person you want us to give the money to, right? So, for instance, when I charge his card, right, then the money doesn't get to the person I'm sending it to, right? That's the merchant, right? As if you're a merchant, the money doesn't get to you as a standard until the next day, right? So what we now do is, once you've created these profiles and you've created those IDs, now when you've done the payments, we now know, based on the ID, who are meant to give the money to. Okay, all right.
Also, about the split payments, I noticed they are in ratios, split payments are in ratios, but then if they are like, do you have to like start calculating the ratio for each merchant, so how does it work? Because I believe like, they mean a price like, pay this merchant for 400 and pay that.
Awesome. So we have the split payments in two methods. So you can see how that answers your question about paying in price. So if you know the exact amount, right, and to know the exact amount means you've calculated what the gateway will charge, that Rave will charge, right? So I'm a customer, I want to pay 5,000 naira, right, amongst 3 merchants, right? But that 5,000 naira, there's a cost attached to it. There's a transaction cost and maybe your commission, right? So once you've calculated the transaction cost and your commission, right, and you've seen, okay, this is how much each merchant will get, right? You can now pass that amount to us, and that's the exact amount we'll give to the merchant. Does it make sense? All right. Okay. All right.
I think I have quite a number of questions. There was a point you said when building like your e-commerce site or anything you're building, look for ways you can take money from owner of the store without asking him or her. What solution do you have for that? Is it that when I build a store, there's a place I have to put the builder's percentage, that when at the end of the week I get percentage of my own share, instead of calling the owner of the store to say, okay, at the end of the week, let me get my cash. Is there an option for that? So I don't have money issues with the owner of the stores. Secondly, I'm online now, and like I told the first guy, Rave is not on Shopify. I was trying to say, okay, if I could integrate that to the store right now, but it's not on Shopify. So when would that happen? Then thirdly, we keep having, I told the first guy, we keep having issues with dollar payments. We cannot target foreign clients because if your store is domiciled in Nigeria and you have implement gateway in Nigeria, PayPal has their own challenge. They won't accept Nigerian stuff. So either use Stripe and still have the challenge. So if we use Rave, for example, default currency, I suppose, is Naira, and a lot of those ones. Like Paystack also has Naira and stuff, but they don't have the dollar equivalent, but the dollar stuff, dollar default. So when we choose Naira, every customer that comes in sees the default. So we need an option whereby you can choose dollars. So every person in the world could come in to buy. Then lastly, this is a suggestion I'll say. We have trust challenges in the country. People know there's an online payment, right? But they don't want to use the online payment, they rather use cash on delivery because of trust in the country, in the merchant side, and all this stuff. Now, can we have a solution like an escrow, whereby your company, for example, creates a holding account? The customer pays in, the merchant is not paid until the customer confirms that he has received the item. Then he can give the merchant a code to put in. That is when he can then access the cash. So with this, it could be a trust somehow and take away this cash on delivery challenge that we have. We have a company in Nigeria that does that. Fortunately, they've not been able to do marketing on that, so people don't actually know them. But I guess if your company does that, to go a long way in helping the buyers and the merchants. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So can I start bottom up? Right, bottom up. So I'll start with your last question on escrow payments, right? Very good you mentioned this, and very good that it's just below the last split payments that we just reviewed. So recently we brought out escrow payments, right, that allows you collect payments and keep the money in escrow, right, and call a single API to settle the merchants, or a single API to refund the customer. So I'll give you, so just like you've mentioned, right, someone buys something on your site, right, you just pass an identifier and tell us this transaction that happened, keep it in escrow, meaning don't settle, right? When you keep it in escrow and you say, okay, you know what, this guy, the goods, customer fulfillment has happened, right? Customer got goods confirmed, right? Just call transaction/escrow/settle, right? And we would settle the money to the merchant, right? If you say, okay, you know what, I want to partially refund X amount. Sorry, I want to refund X amount to the customer, right? You can call our /refunds API for escrow, right? And we refund the money back to the customer. So does that answer your questions for escrow?
But if you integrate this, do the customers actually see this option?
Oh no, so when you integrate this, you're the one building the escrow service, right? So you're the one who is building the flow, and we're powering your flow, right? By saying, when you collect the money, we can keep it for you. So you are the one to decide, right? So for instance, let me give you an example of Alibaba, right? Who buys on Alibaba today, right? Yes, AliExpress, right? And you use Alipay, right? So what do they tell you? Customer protection, right? So when you pay, right? So Alipay has built a flow, right? AliExpress rather has built a flow powered by Alipay, right? Such that when you pay with Alipay, what they're telling you is that we're keeping your money for you until the goods get to you and you confirm, right? So it's the same thing, right? So you can tell your customers, hey, we're going to keep this money for you until the goods get to you and you confirm.
When you are refunding the customer, you used to get charged the 1.4% when you return everything.
When you're refunding, that's
when
for the refunding. Okay.
You used to get charged the 1.4% your own commission.
So when we refund a customer, by default, a customer is meant to get everything they paid, right? Either they paid with the fees or they paid without the fees. So on Rave today, you can choose who bears the transaction fees, right? Either you as the merchant or you want your customers to bear the transaction fees.
So even when you refund, you still have to pay the transaction fee?
Because you're refunding the full amount to the customer. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm coming back to your questions. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just thinking, what's the fee like for local transfers? Because we have a lot of payment services that are zero You get? So I wouldn't see someone wanting to pay a fee for transfer when you could actually escape without paying. So what's Rave local payments like?
So transfers depend. If you're talking about when you collect money and you want us to give you that money, that's settle you, there's no fee attached to it. But if you're trying to do maybe a transfer, like a payout, right, that's a payroll, like maybe you built your payroll system, you want to transfer to one person or more than one person, right, we charge a 45 Naira fee. Yes, yes, which is lower than most people in the industry. Yes, irrespective of the amount, yes. Okay, so yes, sorry, back to your questions. Sorry, can I just say that?
First one, the merchant and the developer, how do I get my cash, my monthly pay for?
Awesome. So you built a product for shop owners, right?
Yes.
So one thing you can do is you can do recurring subscriptions, right? So your shop owners pay you maybe 5,000 Naira a month to use your service.
No, not that. They pay me a percentage of the amount that comes in.
Ah, interesting. So that's what split payment does, right? So you're collecting the payments. What you do is you collect the payments on behalf of that shop owner, right? And you set up that shop owner on your own account, right? As a sub account, right? When you set them up as a sub account, you're going to set up a commission that you want to collect on each payment, right? So what will happen is automatically when the money comes in, we give you your commission and we send the rest to the shop owner. So you don't have to be, hey, oh God, it's already, 28. Yeah.
Then the third one was when we integrated to Shopify.
So for Rave on Shopify, Rave is on Shopify, but Shopify has a system, right? A system of how I put it. There's a difference between your payment gateway being on Shopify and your payment gateway being maybe, say, on a Shopify listing or something, right? It's just some internal requirements, but we are sorting that out with them. But today, Rave is on Shopify. And what I would do is I would share the Shopify link with you, right? And with everybody as well. Yeah. But if you go to our plugins page and you click on the link to connect to Shopify, right, you'll be connected to Shopify through Rave.
Last one was the $40 gateway instead of Naira.
Okay, so the way we built the payment gateway is typically when you sign up as a merchant, we show you your default currency based on the country you've signed up in. Because, the first default is to believe that's the first 90% of people, that's the currency they want to collect, right? But we enable all currencies for everybody, right? So today, let me just show you something. If you look at my overview page, it's in Naira, right? Because I signed up as a Nigerian merchant, right? If I take you to my balance, can you see how many currencies I'm collecting payments in? Right? I have Naira, USD, Ghanaian cedis, Kenyan shillings. I can collect in more. South African rands, Ugandan shillings, Tanzanian shillings, Rwandan franc, as many as possible, right? So with Rave, you'll have access to multiple currencies, including USD. So all you just need to do is, when you're setting up your payments, see that? That's $2. So all we just did there was pass the correct currency, which is USD, and you'll be able to accept payments in dollars. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Going back to split payments, can we create those sub-accounts with an API?
Yes, you can. Okay, yes, you can. Let me just show you the APIs. So if you notice here, I said Rave allows you to collect escrow payment. Oh, no, sorry. Split. Awesome. So you can create sub-accounts via the dashboard or via the APIs. So the API is called subaccount/create. So you pass in the details, the bank name and all those things. Right. Yep. Any other questions from? Okay.
If you want to create a demo account to like test this data and see how it works, how do you do the process?
Awesome. So to create a demo account, right, all you just need to do is, once you visit developer.flutterwave.com, right, which is our documentation, there's a section on setting up an account on Rave, right? So as of the moment, right, we have two different environments for our live and test accounts, right? But we've been in beta to make sure that it's one environment so that you can toggle live and test, right? But for now, if you want to create an account, all you need to go to is ravesandbox.flutterwave.com to create a test account. And very soon, right, you would only need to access your account on rave.flutterwave.com and toggle between live and test mode. But for now, you use the first option. Okay. Sorry? A video documentation? No, but we're working on video series, right? So it's a progression, right? The first is the CLI, right? And we are really, really bent on making sure that people understand payments and how to use payments to their advantage, right? So very soon, between middle of Q3, that's this year, we should be releasing video tutorials. Okay. So are we good? Would everybody, you know, sign up for a Rave account now and make some good money? Right, for your payment needs, anything. All right, thank you guys.